Hello, my name is Azmi Sharom and welcome to my show, Brave New World, where this week I'll be speaking about the fight that never was. Drum roll, please! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the debate of the century. In the red corner, we have Mahathir Mohamad, former strongman of Southeast Asia, the doctor of disaster. In the blue corner, we have Nazri Aziz, the skinhead of tourism. So, without any more further ado, let's get ready to... What? Cancel? I say, man, potong steam lah.
Like this. Well, that didn't go very well.
And so, that's what happened. The cops have cancelled the great debate about 1MDB between Mahathir Mohamad and Nazri Aziz. Now, there's some people who question whether the police actually have the authority to cancel such a thing. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about their reasons why they cancelled it. And they gave two reasons. First, they said there could be troublemakers who would make trouble, I suppose. And secondly, they said there were a lot of complaints about this debate. They had received 18 police reports protesting this debate. 18! Initially, they only received 2. 2 is, no problem. But 18! Oh my God, must stop debate. So I want to talk about these two reasons, all right? About how this thing was cancelled. Let's look at the first one, the protests. It's kind of weird because it seems to me like what they're saying is that if people don't like someone saying something, they can force it to be stopped. On the grounds of what? That they don't like what is going to be said? And if that's the case, how come last year, when that preacher Zakir Naik came around here, he was allowed to speak because there were a few people who did not like what he was going to say? No, I'm not saying that Naik should have been banned. I'm not saying anyone should be banned. I don't think any sort of speech should be curtailed, unless of course, they are advocating violence to either persons or to property. Then that should be a crime. However, generally speaking, just because we don't like something doesn't mean we should be able to stop it. That's just wrong. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the troublemakers argument. The freedom of expression is actually a human right. It's classified as a civil and political right, or a first-generation right. Now, generally speaking, this kind of rights imposes a negative obligation on governments. That is to say, the less they do, the better it is. So, if you have fewer laws restricting the freedom of speech, then you're respecting that freedom. However, sometimes these kinds of freedoms require a positive obligation on the part of government. And the positive obligation here is to protect the freedom of speech.
That was the beginning of the free speech movement.
You know, if someone, a group, an individual can threaten another person to the point that they cannot speak, then something has to be done about it. If not, it's like having a thief coming up and saying, hey, I want to steal your car, and if you don't let me steal your car, I'm going to whack you. So what do the cops do in a situation like that? Hey, let him take your car, because otherwise there'll be trouble. Well, surely not. And the same applies to speech. Let me give you an example. In Juarez, Mexico, in March, 3 journalists were killed, probably by drug cartels, because they were reporting on these chaps' activities. Now, in a situation like this, it's not enough to say, ooh, we have laws protecting the freedom of the press. No, there has to be concerted effort to capture these people and to punish them for what they did. Now, the same applies here. You cannot let troublemakers, whoever they may be, get away with it. Look, at the end of the day, I don't really care about this debate because I've kind of made up my mind as to how I feel about the whole issue. But I suppose there are some people who haven't. And maybe having an ex-premier talking about it lends a bit more weight to the arguments. Maybe that's why the debate was cancelled. So, did you not like what I said just now? Do you want to debate with me? You can. You can leave your comments on YouTube or Facebook.